Hello and welcome back to the lounge. Is this too loud? No, it should be fine. Hello and welcome back to the lounge with Luke Gilfillan. Today, you are surrounded on all four sides by walls that are slowly closing in. I think each week that's why the bricks are moving in, and so eventually you're going to be crushed on all four sides. But until then, you will be forced to watch me read articles on this Tobisha TV up in the top right corner. Um, yeah, I don't know where the light source is coming from in here, but I don't know. Welcome to my torture chamber. Today we got like seven stories. I'm just gonna do a lounge until I have to go to yoga. Yes, I do yoga. It's not what you think, guys. Guys, it's not what you think. But our first story is that the Wednesday Journal changed its website and it looks much better, and I'd like to congratulate the Wednesday Journal on that. So I guess we can just look around. They don't have stupid ads anymore, at least that I see. They used to have those like stupid ads like Woodstock photos, click here. Now we got gutter cleaning and like some weird new face shield and boots. Okay, so this is a step up from the old advertisements that they used to have on the Wednesday Journal. Actually, I actually think they still use Google AdSense, and my Google, what do you call it? I don't get ads based on my search results. I like opted out of that. So these are generic ads, I guess, that they give. But they used to give the generic ads of like stupid articles and photos and whatever. So yeah, this is a good layout. I like it all. Look at this. They got all this. It's super well laid out. You can figure out like open houses if you want to like walk into someone's home, or if you are looking to buy homes. But most people use open houses just to look at people's homes because that's like a hobby or something they enjoy doing. It's a thing apparently. So we got like 12 stories. So we got OPRF students return to classes, experts talk safety. This is an op-ed, hope and disappointment at OPRF. I think we'll just scan this. Fair Oaks murder investigation, top priority of police. That was actually a recent article, so there's more news on that story. You may remember that from the summer. Anthony Clark back on ballot. Uber driver, that's the crime reports. And then Dan Moroney withdraws from race for village president. So a lot has happened since the last time we had the lounge. Let's open up the next article. This is okay. I guess we're gonna do straight to this. I'm gonna change the. Oh wait, no, this might actually be the right layout. Yeah, this might be the right layout. I don't know if you guys can see it all that well, but figure it out. This is by Michael Romaine, our second favorite reporter over here at the lounge. Luke Gilfillan, possibly third. I think there was one incident that sort of downgraded him below Dan Haley, but otherwise, second, third favorite reporter over here at the lounge with Luke Gilfillan. OPRF students return to classes, expert talks safety. Epidemiologist slash parent is confident return to classes can be done safely. Uh, where's this photo from? I feel like I saw this photo on Google Images or something. Looks old because there's no snow around, so it's an old photo. Oak Park and River Forest High School students return to classrooms. Oh yeah, they already returned to classrooms. Sophomores, juniors, seniors go back. When is it? February 8th. Yeah, February 8th. February, February. I can't pronounce February. Did I get it there? I don't know. Oak Park and River Forest High School students return to classrooms this week as District 200 officials transition from full remote learning at students' homes to hybrid learning, in which some students are getting limited in-person instruction in classrooms. I know, big step up. Well, it actually is a big step up. I don't know why I said it like that. The return to classrooms comes as school administrators at the elementary and high school levels in Oak Park are attempting to manage public expectations around school safety. The difficulty of the task has been compounded by the fact that schools across the country are now transitioning to uplift. Hey, look, hey, look. I'm reading a book on college admissions, and supposedly they just send out these ads, not because they actually want people to. Well, they do want people to apply, but they send out these ads because they don't want to. Not because they want to get more. Well, the reasons they do it is because they want to have a lower acceptance rate. So if they have a more of an underlying amount of applicants, they therefore would accept these top 15% either way, except they want that underlying amount of applicants to be larger so that it's instead of 15%, it's like 9% or something. They have actually no intention of letting you in. So there you go. The difficulty of the task has been compounded by the fact that schools across the country are now transitioning to updated guidance different from recommendations that were in place for months. Since March, school districts have leaned on metrics tracking the spread of COVID-19 at the local, county, and regional levels to determine what they'll allow students back in classrooms. For the last several weeks, top infectious disease experts at Harvard, Brown, and other universities have recommended that school districts prioritize data specific to school populations gleaned from methods such as saliva screening to determine their hybrid learning plans. The experts have also explained that schools can continue to be open even during very high levels of community spread. Awesome, awesome stuff. Uh, Yay. Roughly a week before school students were scheduled to return to classrooms, Karen Sullivan's District 200's communications director conducted a YouTube interview with Dr. Stephen Weber, who is a chief medical officer and vice president for the clinical effectiveness at the University of Chicago, an OPRF parent and member of District 200's medical advisory team. So, obviously, that interview did not get any attention compared to the lounge with Eric Hankey's recently. So, haha, Karen Sullivan get destroyed. Blah blah blah. Oh wow, they linked the interview. Wow, Wednesday Journal is really undercutting us here. We gotta beat out this Oak Park and River Forest High School channel. Go watch the lounge with Eric Hankey's. All right, moving on. Did the screen change? I think it did, right? Yeah. Hope and Disappointment at OPRF by John Duffy. This is a letter to the or something like that. They're doing a series on equity at the school. The school looks exactly the same, except maybe these goalposts. I don't think these goalposts are like this anymore, but otherwise, this picture of the school looks exactly the same. I don't think I recognize this giant chimney stack, but I'm sure it's there still. All right, let's look up. I actually don't want to type in anything because I don't want to like autofill to be like Oak Park top methods for I don't know, committing tax fraud or something that would indict me legally. Uh, Equity activists collaborate with District 200 teachers. Late 1980s, Junich's landmark book, Keeping Tracks How Schools Structure Inequity, was impacting how some teachers looked at high school and opportunity to learn. Oakes argued that most schools, by design or default, perpetrated racial, academic, and socioeconomic inequality. The curriculum tracking. So this was the detracking thing that recently they've decided to get rid of. So, for example, if I am in a double advanced math class and you are in a average math class, I am likely to have a social, academic, probably not racial. I don't think that'll change my race. That was a joke. I'm sorry. And socioeconomic differences because of due to that tracking methods, and that's basically why they're getting rid of the tracking methods. Um, in response to researchers like Oakes and their belief that the school's curriculum organization was educationally unjust, a small group of OPRF teachers launched District 200's first effort to address the historic inequities of tracking. Collaborating with Oak Park parents like Karen Van Slyke, Henry Fulkerson. This is actually very, very well researched, and John Duffy, whoever, I think this might be like a local lawyer. Great job. I just like to say that. President of the local NAACP, teachers with guidance from Small Students Project at UIC, planned and taught a freshman humanities class open to all students. It was an intentional effort to create a detracked, racially integrated program, providing all students with a high-quality learning experience. Is this World Studies? I don't know if this is World Studies. For multiple reasons, it lasted only one. Okay, so it wasn't World Studies. 1 year. In its planning stages, Van Slyke warned that if it were perceived as a remedial class, it would be stigmatized and academically segregated, while within the stratified learning culture District 200 presented to incoming students. For certain, the class was anathema to prevailing OPRF beliefs about learning. Most teachers saw no problem with tracking and believed it was fair and equitable to all students. It's a fair belief. I mean, it's not like they're going to be holding. I'm sure someone's going to make the case that that is happening, but I think it's very unlikely that there's a mass issue of teachers holding back students because of their socioeconomic or like uh, racial status. Is that socioeconomic status or race. That's probably a better way of saying it. Is this better? I don't know. I don't think it's better. It's the same thing probably. It's just gonna be a deal with it. All right. So yeah, this is a very, very well researched article. Uh, I might come back to it, but I only have a certain amount of time before my yoga class. So, John Duffy, I'll see you later. This is actually part seven in this series, so I guess I should read this whole series and get like a decent understanding of the history of equity stuff at OPRF. I think that would probably be a good thing to know about. All right, Fair Oaks murder investigation, top priority of police. So, we'll read the article again, but just a brief refresher. There was a murder of two. There was a murder of a couple that lived on Fair Oaks, and they were both killed. And they still haven't figured it out, but it was like a huge, huge news story, like even worldwide, because these guys were like lawyers at I think it was University of Chicago, and they were involved in some like high. I think it was the Laquan McDonald case, something high profile. So it was these two. Oak Park Police Chief LaDon Reynolds assured the community that uh ants at this ant I'm a big cup of wonderful covered in awesome sauce with a splash of. Okay, so this is for ants. Aunts. And the only I'm only talking to my dog today. Wow, these are awesome shirts, and I would hate to see anyone wear them, and I hope they are all burned. Not the people, the shirts. Uh, Oak Park Police Chief LaDon Reynolds assures the community that the police department is still actively investigating the brutal murder of married couple Leslie Ann Jones and Tom Johnson, who were found in their Fair Oaks Avenue home last April. Well, yeah, they were found dead. In there, I feel like that's a word that should not have been omitted. In a video posted February 2nd to the village's website, Reynolds stated, "The investigation remains a top priority and is the continued and active support and resources of the West Suburban Major Crimes Task Force, the Illinois State Police, the FBI, and the Cook County State Attorney's Office. This is a big crime. Forensic evidence gathered from the crime scene is still being processed by the Illinois State Police Crime Lab, according to Reynolds. Quite a lot of analysis. The crime scene is large, the three-story, nearly 4,000 square foot home that sits upon over 10,000 square feet of land," said Reynolds. Investigators, he added, have poured over every inch of the scene, canvassed the neighborhood repeatedly, and taken extraordinary steps to make sure no potential lead is overlooked. Discussing evidence and potential leads could disrupt the investigation, according to Reynolds. Now, this is pure speculation. I'm not making any suggestions on behalf of the Loungers, Luke Gilfillan, or myself, but it seems that if they have not gotten too far in their investigation as of yet, it seems that this might be a professional guy that carried this out. Um, so think about that what you will, or don't think about it because I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about and should be taken with not just a grain of salt, but probably salt enough to kill you from dehydration. So take that into account, not effect. Discussing evidence and okay. Discussing evidence and potential leads could disrupt the investigation. According, so maybe I'm completely wrong, and he's got like 1,000 leads, and he's basically already got the guy like, and he's gonna arrest him tomorrow morning. What happened to Miss Jones and Mr. Johnson was a tragedy," said Reynolds, "and the police department and its partners are working aggressively to find the person or persons responsible. Persons. Hmm. Now, unfortunately, that wasn't his actual quote, but the Wednesday Journal said persons. I'm sure there's a possibility that there is one person, and there's a possibility that there are two people or more people. So that is my incredible analysis of that. That there's a possibility that other things occurred than what I think. Reynolds asked that the community remain patient to allow the police to carry out a disciplined and methodical investigation, saying, "This is the sound foundation of good law enforcement." So great stuff. Keep investigating that. And now we got two local politics stories. So if you may remember, Anthony Clark was. Did we cover it here? I know we covered that he was that there was an objection filed, but I don't think we covered whether it actually went against him. So basically, what happened was this electoral committee that meets whenever there's an objection filed against any candidate running for local office. They met to discuss two objections. There was one against another. He's running for Oak Park trustee, and the allegation was that he had been accused of a drug crime in Iowa, and should he have been convicted for this, he would not be eligible to serve in public office in the state of Illinois. And that objection ended up getting rejected because the he was charged but never convicted for this crime, and so they let him to go on the ballot, and the voters get to vote on him. He'll probably get elected. And then there was the second one. This was the bigger one because Anthony Clark is a much more uh, well-known figure in the community. He's run for Congress twice, I believe. Last time he ran for Congress, he got, I think it was over 40%, almost 40% of the vote in the Democratic primary. So he definitely is a big force in local politics. I think if he keeps on running for Congress, I think in the next, I mean, certainly once Davis goes away, he's going to take over. But in the next 8 years, he's probably going to overtake Davis at some point, just because Oak Park is trending in the direction of more like socialist, far left type figures. And he'll probably run again, and he'll probably win, and good for him. I don't think he'll be a good congressman just on the federal level. From the limited interactions I've had with him, he seems to be a nice person, but that's not really something that's uncommon in society. There are a lot of nice people uh, that aren't communists. So, yeah, that's Anthony Clark. That's my analysis of him. Feel free to have a different analysis. So this is a sign Anthony Clark is Oak Park. This was after the objection was filed. There was a illuminated statement of support after he was tossed from the ballot. Anthony Clark is Oak Park. I would have to agree with that statement. I think Anthony Clark does represent the current state of Oak Park, at least as I see it, being that I am in high school with teachers and 14-year-old, or not 14, what are they? They're like 16, 14, 18-year olds. So that's, I guess Anthony Clark would be Oak Park, at least from my experience with Oak Park. The Oak Park Municipal Officer Electoral Board made a stunning reversal of its prior decision to sustain the challenge levied against Oak Village trustee candidate Anthony Clark. Oh shoot, I forgot to explain what the challenge was. So the challenge for Anthony Clark was that he did not live in Oak Park, and you have to live in Oak Park in order to be eligible to uh, run for office in Oak Park. And the reason that allegation was filed is because this guy found in Clark's bankruptcy filing, as well as his driver's license application, that he had listed his residency as a house in Lombard, as opposed to the house that he claims to live in with his parents on Lombard Avenue in Oak Park. So basically, this guy filed an objection because he thought that it was worth filing because, let's say, 2 years or a year from now, it all comes out that Anthony Clark filed on his bankruptcy statement that he lives in Lombard, and that he also filed in his driver's license that he lives in Lombard. I might be getting the driver's license confused with his dog's rabies shot application, but something like that, which would probably be a big mix-up. But let's say that comes out a year from now, and then someone files an objection with Cook County because then again, it's against state law to run for public office if you don't reside in the area which the office, if you don't reside in the town in which you're running for office in. So then this court judge decides, hey, Anthony Clark does not live in Oak Park. He's going to be taken out of office, and then Oak Park has to put up a whole entire new special election to elect a new trustee to replace Anthony Clark. And it's a whole process. It's expensive for the village, and it's a hassle for everyone in the village to go vote. And that would not be an ideal scenario, to say the least. So that's why this guy filed the objection. That's why it's stupid to criticize this guy as being like a racist or something for filing this objection, because it's an objection that should be filed, and I don't know why. I mean, this is like the one thing where accusations of racism should not apply. Like, if you file on your bankruptcy papers that you don't live in a certain place, and it's illegal to run for public office in a place which you don't live, and then someone objects because you filed in your bankruptcy application that you didn't even live in this place, that is like the one instance where accusing some, or that well, not the one instance, but that is an instance where accusing someone of being a racist for filing that objection is absolutely unconscionable, and not unconscionable because it happens, but it's inappropriate and very, I guess the word that comes to mind is stupid. So yeah, it has been a whirlwind these past 2 days. Clark told, and that's not something that you should say lightly about someone. Just going back to the racism thing, like this Kevin Pepper guy, like that's how he's known in the community now. Like half the people in the community, maybe more than half, think he's like racist or something because he filed an objection uh, that it was fully within his right. And if he hadn't filed the objection, someone else would have 5 years down the line. And we would rather have these sorted out now before the election than after the election. When again, I'm saying it again, when we have to coordinate a new special election, saying should Anthony Clark be struck from his public office. So Kevin Pepper did a good thing for Oak Park by filing that objection, and anyone who is demonizing him publicly or privately is not acting in a good manner. So there you go. That's my opinion of that. So they reversed their original ruling. The original ruling was in a 2-to-1 vote. They found that Anthony Clark did not meet the residency requirements to run for Oak Park public office. And then 2 days later, they met again to confirm the vote, just like in a very uh, procedural thing. It wasn't something that often happens where people reverse their confirmations of the vote. They voted unanimously to overturn the vote and let him be on the ballot. It was Jim Taliglia and Anan Abu Taleb who voted to overturn it, and then it was Vicky Steinman who voted to she voted not to strike him off the ballot initially, and she voted not to strike him off the ballot afterwards. So it's been a whirlwind these past 2, and the question is, what changed? I don't understand why they reversed themselves like that. Um, was it community pressure? Was it? I don't know. I mean, it seems like you would not reverse. I I if I were in that position, I can't think of a time where, unless like some other evidence was brought to light, which it doesn't seem that happened. I I don't see why they reversed themselves on that. Okay, we'll see if they talk about it. All right, so this is what Mayor Nanabu Taleb said. I don't think he really took any questions. He said in a public statement, I'm sure, I've had time to reflect on the decision we are required to make in this case today, and I've thought a lot about what has been presented to us. He made the motion to reconsider the January 25th decision, which was seconded by Jim Tuglia, an electoral board member and a senior village trustee. Both and Nanabu Taleb had previously voted to uphold the challenge against Clark, effectively barring his name from appearing on the ballot. Village clerk Vicky Skyman voted to dismiss the challenge in both instances. After reflecting upon the proceedings before this electoral board, I am reversing my decision. Why did he reverse? I don't understand. Uh, and he never says, and I don't know. Along with the story that we're gonna read about Dan Moroney, it feels like something happened. Something maybe sketchy happened. I'm not alleging something sketchy happened, but it seems like there's a possibility that something sketchy happened that made this guy like reverse this decision. Like maybe he got like a note slipped to him, like if you don't reverse this decision, I'm gonna like drive a Ford F-150 through uh, a bowling alley. I don't know, something like that. Uh, I'm not alleging that anything like that happened. Just pure speculation, and speculation that is almost certainly not true. But I don't know. Weird that he reversed his decision. Over the course of the multi-day hearing, Pepper produced as evidence multiple documents, including a 2020 bankruptcy filing. So it was a bankruptcy filing, and then he also property tax bill showing Clark had taken residential property tax exemption on the Lombard property. So he filed on his property taxes that he was a resident of there. So I don't know, man. Either he's lying on his tax forms or he is not eligible to serve public office, and lying on tax forms would constitute a crime, which would make you ineligible to run for public office. So I don't know. I feel like Anthony Clark is not in a good position here. He just doesn't have the so either he lied on his property taxes or like you can't have it both ways. Like I didn't lie on my property taxes, but also I don't live there. You cannot have that both ways. And if you do lie on your property taxes, isn't that's got to be well, that's illegal, right? And that would be a crime that would probably bar you from. Well, no, it wouldn't be because I think Anana Butaleb committed something not similar, but he committed some tax crime. So I don't know if that bars you from public office, but I don't know. Maybe it should. Maybe it should bar you from public office. What? Oh my! So like, I want someone to like ask Anthony Clark. So did you lie in your property taxes, or you were actually not a resident of Oak Park? Like, which one is it? Because you can't be both. You either lied on your property taxes, or you are not a resident of Oak Park. I'm sorry, this does not cut in Anthony Clark's favor, like whatsoever, like at all. I don't know. Well, I don't know why they reversed themselves. Quite frankly, he should not be on the ballot. Speaking from the opinion of over us over here at the lounge, Luke Gilfillan. Um, Conflicting evidence has been presented, and thus it is not an easy decision, as we have all agreed. If there's conflicting evidence, maybe that's a good sign that you should reject it. Because if there's conflicting evidence and it goes up to a court, which is the last worst thing that you want to happen, or last thing that you want to happen, and they find that one piece of evidence is more compelling than the other, and then we have to do a whole nother, as I've said like 4 times, then we have to do this whole nother process, and this could very well happen. Like if someone files an objection a year from now and Anthony Clark gets struck off, mark my words over here at the Lounge of the Guffle, and if this prediction ends up becoming correct, I'd like Medal of Honor by my house next Thursday, or the Thursday after that Anthony Clark gets kicked off the trustee, because he's probably going to win. Blah, 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 blah. An illuminated message. Our community has been traumatized, says Vicky Steinman. If you are traumatized because Anthony Clark is not running for village trustee anymore, I would ask that you try to gain at least an inch of fortitude. This is not the thing that should be traumatizing you. And if it is, you are in a very, very, very good position. I think there are probably 7 billion people on Earth who, if they were to be in your position, and the biggest thing to be traumatizing them right now is whether or not Anthony Clark is on the ballot. I think that's a very good sign that you are in a very, very good position, and you probably should not be traumatized over anything for that matter. Gaining an inch of fortitude. All right, crime reports. This is always my favorite thing because as well, I don't like crime. It makes for good lounge segments. So, weekly crime reports. I feel like we should have like some transition that comes on. It's like weekly crime reports, and then it explodes. And then there's like catalytic converters being like chopped off like from MS Paint or something. Something like that. An Uber driver was carjacked at gunpoint. Oh, that's a not fun to jump into right away. I was hoping like someone would like smash a bunch of flower pots and like be wearing a Kiss costume, like Kiss the band with like the black and white face paint or something. I think that's what they are. Um, yeah, there we go. An Uber driver was carjacked at gunpoint. The driver picked up a male customer in the 100th block of South Taylor who sat in the rear seat of the driver's 2018 Ford Focus. As the driver was taking the passenger to his destination, the passenger directed the driver to go down an alley in the first block of Lake Street. The passenger then showed a handgun and ordered the driver out of the vehicle. After the driver exited, the passenger fled in the driver's Ford Focus, which is last seen traveling east on Lake Street. Ford Focus was recovered by the police department in Dearborn, Michigan at 5:03 p.m. January 28th. That is a distance of 284 miles. More motor vehicle theft, $10,000, $20,000 Chevrolet. Ooh, these are expensive crimes going on. Attempted motor vehicle theft. Someone broke into a 2004 Nissan Maxima, and then removed the fuse box panel and attempted to hotwire the vehicle to start, but was unsuccessful between blah blah blah. Someone took a. I apologize if that was your Nissan Maxima, but we've got time restraints over here on the lounge with Luke Gilfillan. Someone took a package delivered to a residence. Package beef package pirate porch pirates. Someone removed the license plate. What are you gonna do with the 2001 Ford Windstar license plate? Like hang it up on your wall? I had a history teacher that did that. I don't think he took the license plates off of people's cars, but who knows? He had a bunch of license plate on his classroom wall. License plates on his classroom wall. The catalytic converter was cut from a vehicle in the 100th block of North Scoville Avenue. Catalytic converter crimes, we love those. Well, we don't love them, but makes for fun stuff. Someone took the victim's engagement ring left on the bathroom counter of the victim's house. I doubt that. I doubt that someone like broke into the house, took the engagement ring, and then nothing else. It probably like fell into the sink or something. Uh, so yeah, Dan Moroney withdraws from race for village president. Now this happened the same day as Anthony Clark was reinstituted on the ballot, so it was a very big loss for people who are sort of like center of the Oak Park politique. So there we go. Citing the toxicity of local government, well, that's an understatement. It's more like a radioactive sludge that it's has produced multiple Godzillas, on multiple occasions. Uh, yeah, trusty Dan Maroney. By the way, apparently this like it's a big. When I saw this trailer, it was a number one on trending. This like trailer for this movie, King Kong versus Godzilla. And I don't know who watches these movies. Like watching a CGI Godzilla like punch a CGI King Kong. I mean that's cool and all, but is that really something you want to spend your like limited moments on Earth watching? And I guess it's fun because you gotta like root for like a little tribe in this case. So like, and I'm personally Team King Kong because it shows like the most King Kong has the most similarities to humans, so I empathize with it more. So that's that. But I'm surprised that these movies have such a large market. The same thing with like the Fast and Furious movies. Now, actually, I was in a hotel room in Wisconsin a while ago, and I was watching Fast and Furious, and it was kind of entertaining, but at the same time, it was just stupid. But there's so many of these movies, and they have such a large audience. They must have such a large audience because they keep getting made. Like who? I don't know. It just seems like nobody watches these movies, but apparently they do. Nobody should watch these movies. How did I get from that to toxicity of local government creates Godzilla's, which therefore Godzilla versus King Kong? And yeah, okay, I understand how I got there. Um, Village trustee Jan Moroney withdrew his candidacy for village president, Oak Park on Thursday, leaving a race that once had four candidates with only two. And obviously, Dan Moroney would be the brunt of so much toxicity, I guess, harassment. Like, no one's ever gonna be, no one's ever gonna say mean things about Anthony Clark as their hobby face on Facebook as their hobby, but Dan Moroney, that's a different story. I've come to the point where I no longer have the necessary drive, belief, or desire to proceed with what I set out to do 2 months ago. Moroney said in an email thanking his campaign supporters. Although my concern for Oak Park has increased during this time, my confidence has diminished regarding how much can be done to alter its downward political trajectory. What a great statement. That was a very good sentence. I enjoyed that. Twice in his email to campaign supporters, Moroney stated that he believed he would have won the election had he decided not to drop out. Oh, he would. I don't know. I don't know. Well, yeah, I guess if you like the Moroney type guys, you've got one candidate, right? So even if that makes up 30% of the population, maybe like 30% of the population is like tired of the trajectory that Oak Park is going down, they could still, wait, no, if like 40% of the population, or not even 40, like 35% of the population were fed up with the trajectory that Oak Park is going down, and that would likely be increased because there's a defund the police ballot measure on the ballot, which is fairly unpopular among Americans. I don't know about Oak Parkers. That might drive people to want to vote for the more center candidate, which would be Dan Moroney, as opposed to the other two candidates who are more left leaning. I guess left would be, from your perspective, that way, assuming that it's like a mirror. Um, so that they would probably divide among them two, each get 33% or less, and then Dan Moroney could get 35% or more, and he would win the election. So he clearly had a solid shot, even if the majority of Oak Parkers aren't exactly a fan of his. He could have still won, especially with support from the lounge. Luke Gilfillan, our 81 subscribers, would easily overturn the election, no doubt. Um, Not overturn it, but decide the election. Uh, Twice in his email to campaign supporters, Moroney stated that he believed he would have won the election, which is a possibility. Well, I believe if I had stayed in the race, I would get to a winning outcome. I'm unconvinced that I would be able to be productive after taking office, because you would probably have to deal with a never-ending barrage of scandals and Oak Park moms and Facebook and whatever. Oh, my nose itches. Ah, there we go. I cannot, in good conscience, ask for people's votes when I'm not fully committed to what would follow a winning outcome. So he's not like up for dealing with these so- social media stuff. What time is it? It is, oh shoot, 39 minutes. Well, I am glad that I made it to the end of this. January 28th was a bad day for Moroney guys. Like, first off, Anthony Clark's back on the ballot, and then Dan Moroney drops out. So it almost seems like coordinated, but I guess now there's a better explanation for him dropping out. And not January 28th. This happened before January 28th. It was updated on January 29th. So, congratulations to the Wednesday Journal on changing their layout for their page. And that is all we have for you loungers out there today. Uh, Make sure to like and subscribe, and that is all I have to say. I don't know. I feel like I should have some like words to say at the end of these things, but I don't. So I'm sure there's like things coming up. So right there you could probably find like picture of my face, or no, the Lounge Luke Gilfillan logo, and then click on that, and then click subscribe if you want to subscribe, and then like over there somewhere there's like a button for the whatever video YouTube suggests for you. So enjoy that. I don't know if I'm getting allergies or something, or if it's just like hair falling on my face. But otherwise, goodbye and see you later, or don't.